All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast presents Garage Night. Garage Night brought to you by Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street, Enumclaw, Washington. Throw it in your GPS. Go on there now. Have a nice cold beer. Take yourself in. Get 15% off your drinks. When you take yourself in on social media, use Full Buddy Cast as a hashtag, and then show that to Sean, and he'll hook you up there. Also, go to Bordeaux Wine Bar. Have a couple wines, have a couple beers. They got great charcuteries as well as some food to eat. Maybe they might hook you up with a Full Buddy Cast. There is on there $2 off your first flight. You may have to bug them about it to get it, but they may not even know it's there. Also, go to Enumclaw Mazatlan. Say hi to Andy, and he'll definitely hook you up. In fact, thank you, Andy, for sponsoring my wife's co-ed softball team for another year. They went 2-0 on their first night. I got to join them for some victory margaritas and some food. And make sure if you do go in and Andy, or if you don't know Andy, just go up there, say, hey, I heard that if there was a home run hit in the Mazatlan team's co-ed team with Jamie on it, we get free taquitos, and see if they can, because sometimes the Mariners will do something like that. Maybe, I don't know, might work. And then also go Dan Coote Snyder, go to O Chef Country Kitchen, get yourself the Bentley Special, which is a delicious grilled meatloaf sandwich, panini style grilled, as well as they have the Bentley burrito, delicious burrito, while supplies last with those. I think actually the Bentley Special is going to be there for a while. I'm not sure how long the burrito and the tea quesadilla is going to be there. I think the Travis Kenny for DoorDash only, the pasta dish, a pretty expensive one too if you like deliciousness and spending some money. Goes to a good cause because it goes to our man, Dan Coote Snyder. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We've got Craig Bentley on the mic.
Yep, here I am on the mic.
Corey Bentley again out for another
meeting.
Another meeting.
Yeah.
Is QAnon meeting.
Yeah.
He's getting more questions. More questions for us. Thank you. He's out there knocking on the doors and figuring life out. So we are going to nothing really to talk about, to catch up on. Are you golfing lately? Have you done any golfing?
I finally went out and did some golfing. It took a while this year because being a golfer, you want to do it year round.
Yes.
And I took like a 6-month layoff.
How was that first round back?
I didn't keep score.
Oh, so it was one of those.
It was practice round.
Did you pick up?
It was practice round.
Did you pick up at any point?
Oh, actually, I probably would have been above normal.
Like 110?
Yeah, probably somewhere between 100 and 110.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I was doing pretty decent when I was golfing a lot. I was getting in the low 90s. I was super excited.
Yeah, I need to golf with you. It'd be fun to golf with you and kind of just see how that goes. With just kind of see, I think we're pretty evenly matched. Probably throw like $5 on the front 9, $5 on the back 9, and 5 overall, and 5, 5, and 5. Maybe make it a little interesting.
No, I'm good with that.
We've also I forgot to tell this on the last one, but so Thursday night drank Buffalo Trace. Friday night did go to the horse track, bet a few of the ponies. Brought 120 and then brought home 60. So I lost half my money, which for gamblers out there that are listening, it's not too bad. For everyone else is like, eh. But it was definitely paying for my entertainment. But a lot of fun. Hit up the horse track over there at Emerald Downs. Super awesome. And then the next morning I was bright and early, 5 a.m., hitting the road with my neighbor, and we went to High Cedars. First time I ever golfed High Cedars. Have you golfed High Cedars before?
Oh, numerous times.
That's a pretty fun course.
It plays to a slice very well.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Well, what's funny is I say that because I haven't played it probably in 2 years or so, and 2 years ago plus, I had an absolute horrible slice. And so I liked playing there because you got away with a lot of stuff. Now, if I'm not straight, I'm like hooking it So I don't know if I'd want to go
Yeah.
there.
So what do you do to try to fix that? What do? Do you try to like slow your swing down? Do you start to change your grip? What do you do to kind
I
of
try not to do a leg kick.
Do you do a leg kick?
I try not to have a baseball swing.
Oh yeah, that's Jamie. That's Jamie for sure. Do you have to tee it up a little differently?
I've actually went up and down with the tee, trying to figure things out. I'm probably a mid to a little lower than teeing it high because I tend to skyrocket it.
Yeah,
I'll go straight,
But
but it'll
it's
go
going
like,
up.
It'll go pretty high.
It's going higher, further in the air than it is going.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I've been there. And then so then that Saturday went to an event. After that Sunday, helped out at church. I've been helping out in kids' church, and it's been doing that for like a year and a half. Kids' church I can only take so much. So those people that work in like even as a teacher, it's like, oh, that'd be fun to be a teacher. I couldn't do it. I thought I could. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. Have you ever, that's a good question. You can think on this because I'm just throwing this out there, but have you ever thought you could do something, then you get involved in it, or thought you'd enjoy something, or thought and you realized it was definitely not for you? Like, did you ever do karate for like frickin' a few or cross country? Like, was there anything that, even music, was there anything that you thought, oh, I'd probably enjoy this, and then it turned out to be the worst?
So I think there's two questions.
Okay.
First one, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that I thought that I thought I would enjoy, but I didn't. But I guarantee there's something if I sat and thought about it. As far as thinking I can do something and not being able to do it, I'm the type of person that I already know ahead of time, like literally, like if I could do it or not. And I don't think I'm putting myself in a position where I can't do something.
So you're already like going, am I going to succeed at this?
Yes.
But see, golf,
that's different.
There's no way you were succeeding right off the bat.
I'm not succeeding now. It doesn't, but that's different. That's just like, I thought, let's clarify, because sports I think are a little bit different category, because sports are maybe like, let's say I went out and played pickleball right now.
Right.
I can play pickleball.
Have you played it lately?
Not lately, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, have you played it since high school?
Yes,
okay.
I have.
Okay.
But something like that, or am I ever going to be super good at it? Probably not, but that doesn't mean I can't do it.
Right.
I'm thinking when you say something you can't do, like literally you can't do it. Like I can golf. Now, if you said, can you golf in the 70s or 60s? Yeah, that's probably never going to happen. That's
what do you think truly? So I don't know if I told you this, but I shot a 41 on the front. Legit. Like I was with my buddies, and it was like the best round of my life. 41 on the front. Heading in to 16, I was like on pace to be like finish 87, 86. Like it was like, and that's even like bogeying those. And I shot like a 9 on the 16, and I shot like a 6 on. And anyway, I finished up 91. So I think I could put around with that. It gave me hope that for the first like 15 holes, I was able to put a round together to where I was going to break 90. Could you see yourself? What's the lowest you think you could see yourself actually, truly scoring?
I know I could be in the 80s pretty easily. I feel that pretty good. I want to say, excuse me, I feel like you. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I know I'd never be below 80. And I want to say I could get below 85. So somewhere in that range.
That's amazing. That would be so crazy. My 40 or my 41 on the no birdies, all pars or like in like 3 bogeys. Like it was just incredible. That and then that entire round actually not one birdie. It was just par, just pars all day long. And I like even on hole 1, I usually finish a 7 on hole 1 no matter what. I can have a great drive. I can get on, but then I'm 3-putting. It's like, so that one I actually putted off the green from up above, and it rolled right in. So I parred it there. That could have easily been a 6, and then I'd probably miss that one in a 7. Just can ever par 5 or par hold 1. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't think you are. Yeah, I think my lowest, truthfully, if I were to tap in and just play as hard as I possibly can, 52.
On 18 or on like 9?
No, I'd say 87. Man, if I could get to 87, I would feel like so good.
What are you choosing 87 for? Because most people would choose like 85 or 80, like on the 5.
I think 87 is realistic. Like, meaning like that's gonna be my, like, all the planets have aligned. Like, even like incredible golf for me is not gonna get me any lower than 87.
Fair enough.
Unless it's like on a executive course.
I got a TV question for you.
I like it. Let's do it.
Have you listened or watched either Live PD or On Patrol Live?
No.
Okay. So we don't have to get into the entire thing because I'm a huge On Patrol Live guy.
Okay.
I absolutely love the show. But I forgot to bring this up on the last episode. Last Friday, from when this is coming out, On Patrol Live will be following Everett.
Oh,
Police.
man, I thought it was going to be Enum Claw. They're going to show up at my door and be like, keep it down.
No, it's got to be somewhat interesting. They're not going to follow Enum Claw.
Dude, would it be why not go to Tequila? Why Everett? Why not go to Seattle?
Because maybe they were the only ones, because they have to sign on to get video. Basically their cops are being video footage for like 24/7. And then it gets put on air live, like when it's happening. You know, Cops was always filmed, and then you saw them like 2 or 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's edited. Yeah.
This isn't. This is live.
Can they blur faces that fast?
They don't blur faces when it's live. They don't have to. But if there's a call that, like a shooting, for instance, and they don't know if the person's laying there deceased, they don't go up to it until they know why. But as far as showing up to a domestic disturbance call, they don't blur faces. They try to like pan away from underage kids.
Yeah, for sure.
But they don't blur faces, and legally they don't have to.
Why?
Why don't they? I don't know.
Because it's public. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like if you go on a private residence, you can't go in to people's.
They ask access. They ask if they can come in. They have to.
Yeah, well, the cops have to. But do they say,
Well,
is it okay for me and my crew to come in?
Yes, they do. But cops don't. Well, yes, they do, unless they have a search warrant.
Right.
But no, I don't. I like to hear from somebody that if they listen to, if they watch the show.
I'll check. You know what? I'll check it out.
I love it. I think it's. I mean, I love Cops.
I got Vegas coming up too, so it'll be after Vegas. It'll be a bit.
I loved watching Cops back in the day, and even some of the newer Cops.
Dude, Cops is great.
No, this is 10 times better.
Bad boys. It got you in the mood, man.
This is 10 times better.
Okay.
So that's my little snidbit of TV talk.
TV talk with Craig. Have you watched the Live PD?
On Patrol Live.
On Patrol Live.
Reels, if anybody wants to check it out. That's the station it's on.
I'm like, what? Like Facebook Reels? What are you talking about? All right, we got our Skarrey Skelleys. You're a sports czar for a day. Overall sports, you're making the rules. You're able to change things up, even change what maybe times games are played, even the time of year. What 3 things would you do if you were basically the commish over all professional and college sports? And then he gives an example. I'll kind of give an example, but would you shorten seasons? Would you make all running backs play soccer to grow the sport from a dying position? Legalize steroids? Would you fix college football conferences? What would you do, Craig?
That's probably one of the best questions he's asked.
It is.
I mean, that's one of the ones I wish I would have known
Like
before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think about it for a bit.
But
we can do a call back, when we think we may be like, you know what, he brought this up a few weeks ago, but let's go off the top of our head right now. But if there is something that you call back to, feel free.
I'm probably the hard thing is that I'm a very like historian wise don't want to change things. But I would almost think I'd figure out a way to shorten baseball season. Or give them less games. Maybe not shorten the overall period it's played, but maybe a couple less games. I think we would have
Let's do this.
better.
I'm changing the rules.
All right.
3 things you change to baseball. We're just going to do we'll do it sport by sport. And that might give us some time. Rather than you go, and then we can, if you want to throw in like football season's going to be a little different, whatever, that's fine. But like, okay, so you're saying when would you have it run through? Baseball.
I would probably try to get. I would try to get the season to start a little bit later, so we're not having as many rainouts.
Okay.
Right. So maybe and I realize that depending on where you're at, there's no rainouts for like Texas or most of the time.
Right.
But maybe in spring training becomes April instead of March. Right, and then you're running like maybe May through. Well, I mean it's through kind of September now anyway. I like the idea of keeping October. October baseball has always been playoff baseball.
Right.
Right. You got to keep that. That's part of the game. But give some of these athletes a little bit less games. Instead of having to take days off, instead of 100 and maybe we go to like 130 games.
I could see that for sure. Now, when it comes to the schedule, it starts in a time where March Madness has kind of wrapped up. It's actually March Madness is over. It kind of crosses over actually, because I think it starts before the championship game for March Madness. So yeah, I would push it until where it would start after March Madness, but I think we run into is it the Masters? What do we run into mid-April?
April's the Masters.
Yeah, I would probably go. Yeah, I would go once March Madness finishes, then I'd have the Masters, and then the very next week, by mid to end April, I would start baseball up, where it would start a month later almost. I would keep everything else the same for baseball for that schedule wise. NASCAR is fun in February because it's right after the Super Bowl and they have their Daytona 500.
That's how you just change the rules. We're only doing baseball.
I know, but here I'm talking about scheduling right now. I'm rechanging the rules. But the scheduling factor, they run all the way to November. So they get lost in football, basketball starting up, baseball just finishing up because they got a 10 race playoff, and so football. So you're competing on Sundays with the largest sport in America. Nothing is in August except for preseason games. So I would run NASCAR from February to August, and maybe since they don't play. I would probably have Labor Day weekend be the championship final race because they don't usually have football on Labor Day weekend. That's usually where kind of people are doing their drafts and stuff like that. But I would shorten that season way down to between February and ending mid-August. I like where baseball's. I like that right after the 4th of July. Then the next week you're having the All-Star game. That stays the same for baseball, and I do agree with you that October baseball is wonderful, and sweet.
Game 6 and 7 of a baseball playoff is the absolute best playoff in sports. A Game 7 of a World Series is by far better than any other sport would be to me.
Okay. All right, I believe you. I like how hockey and the finals kind of coincide together. So I'd keep that the same.
That's because the finals are stupid.
And hockey doesn't have much of a.
I like hockey though.
It does, but doesn't.
I like playoff hockey.
Right, exactly. So you got a little playoff action for both. When I went on a golf trip with a bunch of dudes. The best part of that trip was me. Was just golfing in the morning, pool time, and then at night watching the finals and playoff hockey playoffs. It might have been even the whatever they call it, the Stanley Cup as well. All right, I had to get the scheduling out of the way. Anything to change for scheduling for you?
No. Besides, like I said, I think baseball, as much as I want it to stay the exact same, I don't think shortening the season would do a whole lot except for obviously the season records.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. I get that. And at the end of the day, I don't want to change that, so maybe I would change my mind. But that to me, it would make the product maybe a little bit better. Maybe instead of 1 day travel, give them 2. You know what I mean? You're flying from New York to Seattle, get a couple days in there. I don't know. Maybe it would make it worse. It could make it worse. Because every time they go to change baseball, it makes it worse. So.
Yeah, okay. So let's stay with baseball. I would get rid of the pitch clock, or I would lengthen it another. I'd probably tack on another 5 seconds, because I can understand the reason for it.
I actually like the pitch clock. I hate the stupid stealing.
What's stupid stealing?
I think they've made the stealing too easy.
How so? What is?
Well, first of all, you shorter.
You can't.
Second,
check out.
Second, if a pitcher throws there twice, I think it's dumb that they can't throw it back again.
Right.
Like, that's the dumbest thing ever, because they're going, or they should be, on a player that is a legit base stealer.
Right. Yes.
I think everybody should be stealing 40 bases now.
That's true. That's true.
I do have one thing I just thought about specifically for Jared. If I was Czar, I would basically disqualify Verstappen from any F1 race.
Ooh.
Because it's kind of dumb.
Ooh.
Make him go race Indy cars or NASCAR.
Yeah.
Not allowed to race F1 anymore. Go see how you do somewhere else.
I like it. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I like it. I would get rid of forget the Vegas race. If F1, boom, out of Vegas. It's ruined Vegas already. Hate it. All right. Well, we can move on from that, but let's think about that. We'll bring Corey in. So let's say next topic, we'll go. What will be around will be the All-Star game ish before. It'll be before that. So let's hang with baseball. 3 things you would change for baseball, and we would talk about it next episode.
All right.
Okay. All right. And he said, I'm going to go lay down now. That was exhausting. If I was czar, I would make gambling legalized in all states. That's the first thing I would do, because then I could sports gamble from my couch. I would lose more, but I wouldn't move. All right. We've got another anonymous question from QAnon. Let's see. Does Craig know the difference between elevations and stations on a civil set of drawings?
Yes. Why would I not?
Could you explain so we could know?
Station is basically a horizontal position for the most part. They can be the same, in case anybody was wondering, but most of the time a station is based off of some type of an alignment, usually a road alignment. So the station would be, let's say, 10 plus 00 would be like the intersection of a road, right? And as the road goes north, it goes to 11 plus 00, 12 plus 00. That's an example. Easy example, right? You get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Elevation would be where you're at vertically from, for lack of a better term, let's say sea level. That's what most people know.
You're not fooling anyone.
0 to whatever elevation you're at. For instance, where we're sitting here, probably around 740 feet, plus or minus.
What's the elevation of Enumclaw, Washington?
What is it?
Do you know this answer already?
It depends on where you're at.
761 right now.
Yeah, and that's a broad. That's an average. If you go up by the golf course, it's 800. If you go out towards Auburn, it's probably lower. It's where it is. I just knew we were around 750, so I guess 740.
Are you the QAnon guy? Are you?
I'm gonna ask my. That would be awesome. Just ask my own questions.
Just serving yourself up softballs. Just like making it look like you're a genius, and you're like, I got it. These guys are on to me. Yeah, I made up this. I made up this career, and now I need to show them. That's good.
So there's the answer to QAnon.
All right, let's go to another story of this other QAnon. When I was younger, we had a huge party at my house. A girl who was obsessed with me showed up and then wouldn't leave me alone. So I said I had to use the bathroom. This sounds a lot like them. Just leaves, but instead snuck out the back and went straight to the bar. Have you ever done anything like this? This is the same question from like 2 weeks ago.
That's a little bit different.
Why is this about you?
No.
Are you serving?
But what I'm saying is, if you think about,
this is you. Wait. This is you asking these questions. Actually, this one's a little different.
But if you think about it, it is a little different. The one a couple weeks ago that QAnon asked, he literally was an hour away and leaving this person, like out in the middle of nowhere. This is just like you just at a house somewhere.
Well, is there other people? A huge
party
at my house. So he left his house and went to a bar.
Yeah,
like he left his own party at his own house,
and I don't see an issue with that.
Well, aren't you afraid someone's going to break something or steal something or take something or like have the cops come? You're so done with this that you're out of the house.
I don't see an issue with that. Kudos to him. He knew where
this is you. What was it like? Was this you?
No, dude. I've been married since I was 19. I couldn't even go to the bar. Why would there be an obsessed girl with me?
The closest thing that I ever had, and this was my senior prom, in high school, where we were going out to Seattle. The person that I went with had a boyfriend. And before all this, like, one of our friends, like, hey, you guys should go together. Now, here's the thing. I really wanted to go, but I hate rejection. And so it was like an easy road for me to be like, oh, and because the person was like, yeah, I'll go with you, Trav. And I'm like, sweet. Sounds good. Now I don't have to worry about rejection, but I'm not really going with the person that I really, truly wanted to go with, although this person was cool. And I appreciated the friendship. I also wanted to probably get jiggy with it a little bit, but not like all the way jiggy, but just enough to where, but this person's got a boyfriend and now that there's going to be no jigginess going on. And so I go to pick her up, and I pick her up for the prom. Her mom is like, let's take some pictures. And I have these pictures still. And I can prove, I'll find them, I'll show them. But this mom just didn't take like one or two pictures, and that's okay. But she's like, hey, stand by the fireplace. Okay, cool. I stood by the fireplace with my date, and then took a picture, and I thought I was good. And like, oh, and she was a cat lady. She's like, hey, sit down on the couch and have the cat sit in your guys' laps. Took a picture with the cat. Went and took a picture outside. We took like 6 or 7 of these pictures, 8 of these pictures. And each photo, you could see my date smiling in the first one, smiling in the second one. But by the third one, she's giving the eye to her mom in the smile, like, knock this off. And the fourth one, like, come on. Like, eyes are getting wider and, like, more like, come on now. And then finally, it was over for us. So we get in the car, and we're driving there. And I can't remember how it went. And this is, I get this. There was recently, when I say recently, within the past year, a Tinder date where a guy met this girl on Tinder, asked her out on a date. They start talking, asked her out on a date, and he took her in the middle of the day to Starbucks. And she went live, and she was like, this guy's trying to take me to Starbucks right now. Can you believe it? This is what a broke. Why am I going out with this guy? He's broke. Who takes someone to Starbucks on a date? I'm looking like this. And, like, you know, she's dressed up, and he's like, I'm taking you home now. I'm not even freaking driving to Starbucks. You ain't going to Starbucks. We ain't doing this. I don't need this in my life. You've shown your true colors immediately. So you're going to take me home, me looking like this? Look how dressed up I am for you. You can take me to Starbucks, and then now you're just going to take me home instead? And he's like, no, you're right. And he pulled over and he said, get out of my car. I ain't even taking you home. You think all these dudes can come get, you know, you can get all these guys and have them come by right now, come pick you up. Bye. Okay. So I get it, right? I get it. But at the same time, I'm thinking it from the girl's perspective, like, how frustrating. Guys, we shower, we shave, we throw on some nice clothes, and we're out the door. But if, you know, I'm guessing for the females, as there's anticipation, she wants to be accepted, she wants to be told she's beautiful, so she's going to go get her hair done probably that week, and she's probably going to get her nails done that week, and she's probably going to go, you know, get herself all beautified and pick out a nice dress, and she's probably, or even outfit, and she's probably tried on, you know, 3 or 4 outfits, and this one looks the best that day. And so now she's all going out. She's spent all this time on herself, and he just takes her to Starbucks. Now, obviously, there's a communication breakdown on the date, but the guy's looking probably for someone who he can just have a good conversation with and relax with and talk with. But then you have her who's probably like, I want to go out. I want someone to take me out. I want to show myself off. I want to look good. I want to make people jealous. I want girls to look at me and see how good, like all that stuff. So I get it. Okay. Looking at it from the male perspective, I understand his side. Looking from the female's perspective. Okay. On the senior prom date, I don't even remember, but I was making her mad, and we're in traffic in Seattle. And she is, Craig's falling asleep right now. She is like kind of going at me a little bit. Like, she's kind of like, don't ruin my special day. Don't ruin my I'm like, in my head, I'm like, then take your freaking boyfriend if you want your special day. Your college-age boyfriend should be here and not me then. I was getting mad about it because she didn't understand that I freaking, even though I chose the easy route in the sense of not getting rejected, she wasn't my first choice. Anyway, I roll down my window in the middle of freaking Seattle. I lay on my horn as loud as I can, my Cadillac, my 67 Cadillac, and I yell out the window. And this is, you know, church age me, youth group me. I ain't saying no swear words then, but I yelled poop. The word poop, like a freaking second grader out the window. I was like, poop, 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 yelling it. And she, like, I'm like, there you go. Hopefully I ruined it for you. Hopefully I freaking ruined it for you with that attitude. Anyway, we got there, had some food. I danced with other girls. We went home. I don't think she even came home in the same car as me. Maybe she did. I don't know. So QAnon, thank you. I needed that therapy session. I had to get that out right there. Appreciate you, QAnon. Much love, QAnon.
I don't think QAnon's going to ask any more questions after that answer.
This is an easy one. What is your third favorite food?
It's not very easy.
I know
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
it's
come up with the
hard
fir-
but easy.
You got to come up with the first two. Pizza.
Third choice.
I'm putting steak and teriyaki ahead of pizza.
Ooh, okay. Huh. I'm gonna go teriyaki. Actually, that's a good one. It's interchangeable. I think some days you choose but yeah, third choice. Like if I was like, "What do you want to eat tonight?" Steak. Yeah, agreed, 100%. And then the second choice is either pizza or teriyaki, and I could flip flop that depending on my mood. So yeah, look at us. Easy but hard. You know what? That's our band name.
Nope.
Easy but hard. All right, one more. Have you ever been kicked out? Actually, hold on. Let me see. All right, so we don't have a Veronica's Hot Topics. She didn't get back to me, so we're gonna use this QAnon one as a Veronica's Hot Topic. A guy I knew had seemingly never interacted with a woman, but he had finally gotten one's Snapchat, and she invited him over.
Okay.
This guy had no idea what he was doing. In over his head, he kept taking screenshots of his messages to ask our group chat how to respond. Anytime this chick sends a message to him, he doesn't know. Boom, screenshot. What do I say? With which, of course, notified her of a screenshot since it was Snapchat. Now,
I wouldn't know that either.
yeah, so Snapchat will tell you there's been a screenshot. Oh, nice one, QAnon.
No, I'm serious. Like, I would legit wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't use Snapchat.
You're saying this right now to make it sound like you're not. This isn't you.
No, I legit don't use Snapchat, so this wouldn't be me. And
you know, I'm not even gonna answer. I'm not even gonna ask
Whatever.
it.
Okay,
you put a lot of work into this, and now I'm not even gonna ask this question.
go ahead.
You want me? You're dying for me to ask. Fine, I'll keep going. Eventually, it came time for him to go over to her place, but he was scared to death. Dude, like, does he? The question I want to know is, does he know that it's alerting that he's been screenshotting these things, or does he not know and he's walking into this thing? That's interesting. Okay, eventually it came time for him to go over to her place, but he was scared to death. Before knocking, he texted the group saying, "I don't want to knock. What if her boyfriend's in there waiting to beat me up?" So this chick had a boyfriend? There's so many twists and turns on this thing.
Plus, how old? I want to know how old this QAnon person is, because it makes a difference.
This is Craig.
Obviously, it's somebody younger than we are, if there's Snapchat involved.
You played Mafia around my campfire a few years back.
I won multiple times.
This is why. Because you're like, this guy sounds way younger than us. Right? Before knocking, he texted us, "I don't know, what if the boyfriend's in there? He's going to beat me up." He finally gets the courage and goes in, only to send minute-by-minute updates to our chat about what was going on until he finally just leaves. Later, we all find out from our friend's brother that this was actually a group hangout, because he was also there, and that they were all creeped out by this guy who just sat on his phone in the corner the whole time. Have you ever seen such incompetence when it comes to a situation like this? I'll add, this story was so much funnier to see happen live. It's hard to retell and capture it all. You'd probably the best off changing details or whatever to make it sound funnier. That's funny. That's funny. I don't need to do anything with that. So basically, this guy makes it sound like he's going to go on a date with this chick. He doesn't know what to say. Turns out he goes there, but it's actually a group hangout, and he just sat in the corner on his phone giving updates. Like, what were those updates? Was he saying like, "Oh, she's going to make me spaghetti, and ooh, the spaghetti's delicious"? So it makes it still sound like it's just him and her? Or is it like he's like, "There's like 12 people here. What the heck?"
What do you want to answer from me?
This is your story. I'm kind of curious on this.
Yes.
Were you like AI create a story about, and then that'd be smart by you.
That'd actually be pretty smart by me.
Did you do that?
No.
Interesting story. I don't know. Have I ever had any incompetence like that before with somebody? Okay, here's my I'll tell an incompetence. Me, one night I'm at the casino super late and super drunk.
Really never gonna ask questions again when your answer is always 20 minutes long.
I'll go quick. This is when I first was married to Jamie, and people were randomly putting me in text groups because I thought it was her and her friends. See, this is backfiring on Craig. Craig came up with these questions, and then it turns out to be me just talking. But anyway, I'll be quick. Anyway, I didn't know it was my manager from work saying like, "Hey, I'm not going to be in this weekend. I'm moving." So I did exactly what Craig was doing. I almost typed out who the F cares? No one cares about your bullshit. I could cuss him out, think it'd be funny. But I had the wherewithal to be like, boring instead. That was my text back. Boring. Had zero clue it was my manager telling our entire team. And I replied to this text that she sent at 9 p.m. I didn't see this text until I got reservice again because my phone died at 1 a.m. Went in the next morning, and my entire team hated me because I woke them up with texts at 1 a.m. saying how boring it was, and it was about my manager.
That's not even close to it. I think the question
it's incompetence. It was talking about incompetence.
I think it's about somebody not understanding how to do something. Your incompetence was just being retarded.
I don't think you can
or
say it.
Stupid. My bad.
You're getting
My
us
bad.
canceled. Oh, now you're definitely getting us canceled. That was stupid of me. You're right. Well, I haven't encountered incompetence. I mean, yes.
That just sounds like somebody that's young and doesn't know any better, and it was stupid that they thought that this group chat, which I'm guessing are all the same age people, would have answers for him.
Good job, Craig.
That's what my answer
Craig
is.
set this thing up to answer it with hey, man, it just sounds young and inexperienced, and now you're the warm-hearted dude on it.
No, I'm not warm-hearted. I think it's stupid.
You're just a warm-hearted dude.
I think he deserved
warm-hearting things.
Deserved what he got, which obviously was nothing.
Incompetence. I haven't read all these questions, but there's going to be one where it says, "Hey, have you ever pretended to be anonymous and then sent a bunch of messages thinking that it'd be really funny, and it turned out it was you the whole time, and it wasn't that funny because the guy found out within moments?"
If that was me, I wouldn't do that though.
Holly messages out of nowhere. Dude, I cannot stop listening to this Billy guy's stories. I had to go back to start from the beginning. I don't care. You got to keep having him on. LOL. I need more stories.
Hashtag painted horse.
Painted horse. I'm telling you about this about Billy. I like Billy a lot, but Billy is someone that I can only take for so long, only because it's just him talking the entire time, and I have to be on. It's like me riding a tube. It's probably how Craig feels, where it's like, man,
it's how most people feel when they're on with you. You're just getting a little taste of your own medicine,
and it feels good.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. Why do you do it? You're just trying.
Why do I come here?
Yeah,
just continually. Because I feel if I don't come here, it'll still keep going anyway. So I might as well come and try to end it.
So you literally...
I'm almost long conning myself.
You're literally you're like on Independence Day where you are flying the plane into the spaceship to blow it up. Basically, but in the end, it's going to take you out as well.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're what, 3.5+ years?
There's like 180 episodes of just Garage Night. Oh, man. That was good. All right, well, we don't have any Veronica's Hot Topics, so let's just jump right into our shout-outs. Craig, go ahead with the shout-out.
I'll do a shout-out to a good friend of the show. Probably doesn't listen to it, but still a good friend. Gage Elder.
Oh, yeah.
New high school boys wrestling coach.
Whoa.
Yeah, so congrats to him.
Yeah. Is he like the main coach?
He is now.
He's not like the assistant coach?
He's been the assistant, and he will be the main coach starting next year.
He's main coaching it. Nice. That's awesome. Congrats to Gage. We do run into him every once in a while at Cole Street Brewery. Good dude. My dad coached him in soccer, so that's how I know Gage. Because he was. How do you know Gage?
He went to school with Corey. They came over to our house all the time when they were in high school.
What was Gage's older brother?
There's a lot.
Or younger brother?
I don't really know the rest of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if Gage. I wonder what Gage was.
He graduated with Corey.
Okay, so okay, all right. My shout out is to all the people that are still ordering DoorDash. You're funding my trips. Thank you for the Patreons as well. Go to patreon.com. You're funding my trips as well. Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Adam Kenny, Art, Seth Loop, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts, Jamie Kenny, Apollo Doodle, Jackson Sidehook, Sasha Carey Lynn, Thomas Savageau, Councilman Anthony Wright, Cameron Stratton, Catree Hoban, Jackie Van Hoof, and Dan Coots Snyder. Thank you, everyone. Have a great summer so far. Go golf. Go enjoy life. Craig, it's always a pleasure having you on.
I appreciate that. It's never a pleasure being here, but I still show up.
Which you lost a bet to somebody. Have a great week, everyone.
Take a dip in the pool.
Is that an invite?
No.